Are you guys considering a trip to Holbox Island in Mexico? Well, you might want to take a look at some of the reviews from real world people who've actually been there before you.
Yeah, like us. So we're gonna give you the lowdown really quick.
Let's check it out.
All right, so some friends of ours recently were talking about their trip to Holbox, and if they would have just talked to us first, they could have saved a lot of time and money. They were incredibly disappointed.
Yeah, Holbox Island doesn't have a lot going on.
No, it really doesn't. And we went on to Google Maps just to see what other people were saying, and some of these reviews were
Pretty spot on.
pretty spot on. So let's take a look at these reviews and we'll comment on them and tell you what we think about our trip that was there.
First, we're going to start with some 1-star reviews, and then we're going to move to some 5-star reviews and tell you what's what.
All right, so let's check out this first 1-star review. When I arrived, everything was underwater. Yep.
Yeah.
Or a huge puddle of sand and water. Even the main street is underwater. You can't get across the street. Beach is mediocre and dirty. It's expensive here compared to Tulum or Puerto de Carmen. Both of those cities are very expensive, and so for Holbox to be more expensive, it's insane.
But it is. It is very expensive there.
Mostly all cash payments and an active nightlife. If anyone likes it, one night there is actually enough.
I believe when we were there, they only had one ATM, and it was not working.
No, it is cash only, and you better bring enough for your whole stay.
Yeah.
The one night only, we had scheduled 3 nights, and we literally left after 2.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. And they're right. Everything is underwater, and it's not just rainwater.
Yeah, it's like sewagey water that you have to trudge through.
You cannot get from corner to corner or across the street without being ankle deep in nasty sewage water.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So that 1-star review, dead
accurate.
on. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's check out the next one. All right, next 1-star review from Camille. Unfortunately, the island is often hit by downpours, and then everything is literally floating, muddy, and stinks.
Yeah, accurate.
The algae stinks terribly.
Now, this algae they're talking about is sargasso, and this is seasonal, but it is really putrid.
It stinks like rotten eggs.
Yeah, rotten egg sulfur.
Yep. Additionally, the prices for Europeans are unacceptable. They're unacceptable for Americans too. It is expensive.
It's very pricey.
A taxi for 1.5 kilometers costs 250 pesos.
No.
It costs us 30.
Yeah.
A tenth.
Yeah.
Small beer costs 30 pesos, and breakfast for 2 around 400. There are more beautiful and accessible places.
There are a lot more beautiful and accessible places.
If you're already in Mexico and you're thinking about going to Holbox, there are so many alternatives on the Caribbean coast. It's not even funny. Like, just the trip to get to Holbox is hours and hours, and a shitty ferry and expensive. And for a 1-star island, that's not worth it. All right, next 1-star review. Don't believe the rumors about Holbox Island is a paradise. No, that's true. It used to be, but it's more like hell. Drainage system completely collapsed, and streets full of pots, huge potholes, and taxis or even off-road vehicles because it's impossible to move with any other type of car. Well, they don't even allow cars.
Yeah, they don't allow cars. They have golf carts.
Yeah.
And
we've seen them stuck.
We've seen them stuck. Yeah. And when we were there, the roads were so bad they wouldn't even let us rent golf carts.
Right, because it was tearing up the roads. And so you couldn't walk anywhere, and you couldn't drive anywhere.
Yeah, which there's just the standing sewage water everywhere. Again, the mosquitoes it causes is ridiculous.
If you choose to walk, which you'll probably have to, you'll have to climb rocks or walls to the side of the road or almost swim in sewage waters.
That is 100% true. Yep.
Because the island is full of mosquitoes.
Oh my God, they are so big.
Let me tell you,
bad.
It is like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. When the mosquitoes descend on you, as soon as the sun starts to set, you got to run home.
Yeah, we went try to have a beautiful sunset on the beach, and we had to run back to the hotel because the mosquitoes are huge.
Covered.
Yeah.
Covered. No repellent will work. They will attack you. If you prefer to be enclosed in your hotel, you will face bed bugs. We didn't face that, but we did have to stay in the hotel room.
We did have to go stay in the hotel room the whole time.
All the restaurants and bars and everything are open air, so you're just covered in mosquitoes the entire time.
Yeah, literally the bartender gave us a can of off, slapped it on our table.
With our beer.
With our beer, yeah. Which it did not help.
So he's complaining that all the hotels are covered with bed bugs. We've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen
That's
that,
not,
yeah.
I don't know, whatever. But maybe you want to swim in the sea. Bad news. The island drains sewage into the seawater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
It's an island.
Yeah.
Dirty shores and the water stinks. I think the water stinking is more the Sargasso.
Probably the Sargasso, which again is seasonal,
Yep.
but that's from what, like November to no, so it's summer.
It's summer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
Anyway,
summertime.
yeah.
And if
Seasonal.
that's not enough, can you imagine there's not much hygiene, so the food is not the best, and you have a big chance of a stomach ache. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have good plumbing and good sewage,
Yeah, you can't be sanitary.
you can't be sanitary. And the price is high, so high. Nothing is cheap, far away from cheap. You won't find that. It is so expensive because, I mean, it's an island.
It is an island.
But it's not worth the price when all the rest of Mexico is a third of the cost.
Plus, Holbox is what, a 30-minute boat ride?
Oh no, it's way more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
considerably more than that.
Well, anyway, Little Corn Island in Nicaragua, which is a tiny little island, was way cheaper than Holbox.
Yeah, way cheaper.
And
I don't get it.
This is way more accessible to get to.
Yeah. You won't find anyone natural born on the island. Only foreigners who came to the island. That's pretty close. There might be some families that live there, but there are no, like, it's not like it's populated with indigenous or Mexican people. They move there for tourism. Yeah. So that 1-star review was accurate, huh?
I'd say so. Yeah.
All right, so the next one from Morgan, 1 star. I wish I could give it 0, but here we go. It's bad.
It's bad, yeah.
Disappointing island. I don't know why people are overselling it. Neither do we, because we were oversold and went. Yeah. And we were pretty pissed.
We didn't like
this. This is a couple years ago. The beach is random. Lots of smelly seaweed. Again, construction half finished all over the place.
Let me just talk about the construction because we went for a quiet weekend and literally I couldn't take a nap in the hotel because there was construction there. There was construction everywhere. We went to the beach and some of the restaurants next door were under construction. There's condos going up everywhere.
It was just...
The construction is crazy.
Yep. Roads are full of mud. I think we already covered that. Yeah. Definitely. Everything is overpriced and not authentic. 100% true.
Yeah.
Yep.
We ate pizza while we were there.
Yeah, we ate pizza. We ate in an Italian restaurant. If you've already traveled to basically any island in the Southeast Asia Pacific, don't waste your time because that's not on the same level. It's not on the same level as Mexican islands or any other island.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a tourist trap.
Yeah.
Even the most basic island is 10 times better than this. I mean, we love Mexico. We're big proponents of Mexico, but not so much Holbox.
Holbox was not it for us.
No, that was another accurate 1-star review.
Definitely.
All right, I think this might be our last 1-star. This is from Kim. The worst place they've been to, which that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot. And I feel like it's probably like at least in the top 10 worst places we've been to.
We've been everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was a caterpillar.
That's why filming in the wild is scary. Okay. So,
Mr. Beast.
1 star. Totally overpriced compared to the rest of the Yucatan. 100%. At least double the most expensive.
Yeah, for sure. It's very pricey.
Very pricey. Taxi drivers, which are a necessity. You can't get around without a taxi. Taxi drivers, which you need, are the unfriendliest human beings ever experienced. I don't know.
Let me just tell you, we were so fed up with it that we did walk in the sewage because we didn't want to deal with the taxi drivers.
Yep. They charge you 3 or 4 times the rate is displayed. They do because of the puddles, and that's exactly what they'll say because the roads are bad.
Yeah.
Which actually almost exists all year long. 300 pesos, $15 for a 5-minute ride. We can go across town for 20 minutes and pay $2.
It's so crazy.
But this is right. You will go, if you're a budget traveler, absolutely do not put Holbox on your list. You will blow through your funds in no time.
Yeah.
The whole island, starting with its beaches, over the restaurants, its infrastructure is overhyped.
Yeah.
100% overhyped.
Yeah, there is no Wi-Fi. I mean, you might get spots here and there, but even if your hotel says there's Wi-Fi, it's going to be really crappy. And even cell service is pretty much non-existent. Yeah.
Yep. However, the worst by far is that the puddles actually exist during both rainy and dry season.
Yeah, that is true, and I don't know how that's a thing.
I don't either.
Just sewage block up?
Yeah, it's water from the restaurants, it's sewage from the restaurants, and the hotels and everything.
It's always flooded. Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's
people.
no paved roads. It's
No,
just dirt
no.
roads.
So
Yeah.
when you see influencers hyping this with their fake pictures and photoshopped images, that is not how it is.
No.
All right, let's go look at some 5-star reviews and try to figure out what these people are thinking. How,
Yeah.
like, maybe, I know it's not just us because we travel everywhere and love some seedy places.
Yeah, we do.
But
We've also lived in Playa del Carmen, which is kind of a hop, skip, and a jump to Holbox, and a lot of people go there for vacation or like a little getaway. And everybody that we have ever talked to about Holbox says do not go.
right.
So let's see what the 5-star reviews have to say.
All right, MC, local guide, 5 stars. Must see if you go to Mexico. Not even close.
No.
Wonderful, clean, wonderfully hospitable people and affordable. I don't even know what this guy's talking about. See, what my thought is this guy's from somewhere expensive.
Yeah, maybe
like somewhere in Europe, and
Yeah.
maybe a $15 cab ride is cheap. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it is not affordable.
It's not affordable compared to other places in Mexico. Let's
Correct.
just say that.
Correct. A beautiful nature area and raccoons.
You can
Bro,
see.
dumpsters have raccoons.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Highly recommended to go. Rent a golf cart, only 800 pesos for the day.
Wow.
That's
That's
40
40
bucks.
bucks.
Look, for $40, you can fly
Yeah.
from Cancun to the Pacific coast for less than $40. That is not a deal.
I'm not joking. We've been to places where it's 800 pesos to take a like half-hour helicopter tour around.
Right. I don't know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's crazy.
So, he's from a Dutch-speaking country,
Oh,
so
okay.
probably
So
like
he's from
Finland or
Europe or
something. Yeah, he's
something,
from Europe and
Must be expensive there.
must be expensive. All right, Dalen, 5-star review. Beautiful place to visit with your family. Man, if you want your kid to be drowning in sewage, maybe.
Yeah,
But there's
and
nothing for kids to do.
there's nothing to do at all except relax, but you can't
drink.
yeah, and there's a lot of drinking and partying, but you can't even really relax because the water sucks, it stinks. There were a lot of sand fleas when we were there.
Oh, on the beach, I forgot.
Yeah, there were a lot of sand fleas. The sewage, there's no
Dude,
activities except driving around on a golf cart.
I don't even know what they're saying about with your family because there's really nothing for a family to do.
They must have been in some sort of all-inclusive.
I don't even know. Okay, well, that's a BS 5-star review.
BS.
All right, Sal with his 5-star review. Absolutely breathtaking. I don't know. What is he? A true paradise on earth.
I think a lot of these are people that have never gone to an actually nice beach.
That could be also. He could be from somewhere where this is his first
Like,
time seeing a beach.
Yeah,
who
he's
knows?
like used to seeing the Gulf of Mexico or
Right.
Atlantic Ocean or something.
Off the beaten path of mainstream tourists. So this is how we know this is absolute nonsense because there is nothing but nobody lives there. It's just tourists.
Yeah, the only
off the beaten path of mainstream tourists.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Even the locals take the ferry in to work
Yeah,
to cater to the
right.
tourists. They don't even live there.
Beautiful landscape and very friendly locals. Mexicans are friendly,
Yeah,
regardless
Mexicans
of
are really
where
friendly.
you're at.
Yeah.
Pick any restaurants and enjoys. Will be hard pressed to find bad food anywhere.
There were about 4 or 5 different restaurants. It's a small island, so
Yeah.
there's not much. And
Small downtown area.
yeah, we did have a good breakfast.
Yeah, had a couple of good
the
meals.
pizza place we went was good. So
Yeah,
I
whatever.
mean, yeah, restaurants that we tried were good.
Put this place on your bucket list if you haven't already. You don't need to do that.
Not your bucket list.
No, there are plenty of places, even near Holbox and on the Yucatan Peninsula,
Yeah.
far better. Even
Absolutely.
Bacalar,
And that's a lagoon.
and that's a lagoon.
Yeah.
All right,
I do
Lucero.
love me some bacalar, though.
Lucero, 5-star review from a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, this is a couple weeks. Okay.
The weather was a little cloudy. Whatever, can't
Yeah.
help that. Still
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Good for him.
Yeah.
It's incredible how many seashells there are on the beach.
I'm sorry. Seashells on the beach? No way.
Yeah, there's a lot of seashells on the beach anywhere in Mexico, probably.
Okay, yeah.
And they got to see a starfish, which good. Okay,
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. There are
Hopefully it
starfish
wasn't
everywhere.
dead.
We had to go take a ferry, which cost us 800 pesos to get there. $40 per person on the ferry.
Wow, was it that much?
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that expensive, but maybe
This
they
was
raised
2
it.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
$40 bucks per person just to get on the ferry. That doesn't include
wow.
the 300 peso taxi drive from the ferry to town.
Which is a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, but that you cannot walk.
Yeah.
All right, Martin.
This is our last
This is
five-star
our last
review?
5-star
Okay,
review.
let's check it out.
Holbox is a magic place. Well, okay.
Okay.
I recommend a 3-night stay to enjoy the island. Well, that's what we tried, and we left early.
We did leave early,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can take tours of the bioluminescence. I don't recall that, but there's bioluminescence throughout Mexico.
Yeah, especially the Yucatan.
And shark whale. He's saying shark whales, whale sharks.
Whale sharks, yeah.
That's all over the Caribbean. Yeah, you can do that there too.
Yeah.
And relax and party every day. You can do that anywhere without an 800 peso ferry.
You can do that anywhere, yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
there is a lot of partying in Holbox.
Yeah. So our experience, that's the end of our reviews, but our experience was, it was a lot of Europeans
Yeah.
who were squeezing this into their vacation.
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And yeah, maybe that's new to them and fun and great if you haven't seen the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're living in Mexico or already in Mexico,
There are 1,000 other places worth checking out more.
yeah, there are so many better beaches and better places to go and check out. So
Yeah.
all right, so those are our reviews of the reviews for Holbox.
Yeah.
We've been there, we've lived in the area for a couple years, and we know a lot of people that have been there. They all pretty much say the same. It's just not, if you're in Mexico, there are so many better places to go,
Yeah.
right? So maybe dig a little deeper into this Holbox scene and see if it's really for you before you spend all that money.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
So we post stuff like this all the time. So if you are interested in more reviews of locations, or if you'd like to know places that are actually good to go to, check out all of our other videos. Like, subscribe, and comment, because it does help our channel
Yep.
out a lot.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
Until next time.
Lates. All right.